Hi, my name is Emerald Simmons, and today I'm doing a presentation on technology integration frameworks. First model that I'm going to discuss is the SAMR model. This model was developed by Dr. Ruben Puentedura. As you can see here, it offers 4 different degrees. One of the things to remember about the SAMR model that I'm going to discuss while you're looking at the visual is that it's not really a climb. You know, some people mistake it for sort of this, like you're trying to build your way up to a certain point, and that's not really the case. It's a model that offers a sort of a variety or a range of options for how you can integrate technology into your classrooms. So as I said, there's 4 degrees. They are substitution, which this is where technology acts as a direct substitute with no functional change. There is augmentation. So in the augmentation degree, this is where technology will act as a direct substitute with functional change. There is the modification degree, where technology allows for significant task redesign. So you're using technology to sort of redesign a task that you've been doing or would have done without technology. And then there is redefinition, where technology allows for the creation of new tasks that were previously inconceivable. So something that you couldn't have done without the use of technology at all. There are lots of different ways that you can use the SAMR model, different ways to view how you can use the SAMR model, for example, with substitution. We'll do augmentation. With augmentation, you could take, for example, if you have an assignment in your classroom where your students would typically say write an essay with pen and paper, and you want to use technology as a way to sort of change that experience for students. So maybe you'll have them type it up in a Google document instead, and then this way they can submit the Google document to you, and then also you can leave feedback on them. So that's some functional improvement, not really a substitution. Technology is acting as a direct substitute, so Google Docs is acting as a direct substitute for pen and paper, and there's a little bit of functional improvement with the ability for you to leave feedback on their actual document without having to sort of pass up papers and get grades and then you hand them back out. So just that's sort of one of the examples I came across for augmentation in the SAMR model. Another way, this would be sort of redefinition, where you are doing something that would have previously been impossible without the use of technology. I noticed that the House of Parliament in the UK is doing 360-degree virtual field trips, so that would be an example of redefinition in the SAMR model. Next is the TIP, or Technology Integration Planning Model. The TIP model is sort of a guide for educators on best practices and procedures for integrating technology into the classroom. There are 6 phases with the TIP model. These phases are technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge, otherwise known as TPAC. Second is, why should you use tech-based methods? You could look at how can technology help solve potential classroom problems or issues that you have. Phase number 3 is, how will you know that students have learned? So when using the TIP model, you want to think about and sort of plan how you might design appropriate assessments to ensure that your students are learning with the tech integration. Number 4 is, what strategies, activities will work best? you can look at this as sort of a student needs and content objectives. With phase 4, just sort of like, what are the needs of your students in your classroom? What objectives do you have and goals do you want your students to meet? Phase number 5 is, are there supports in place for tech integration? Do you have the support that you need to efficiently and effectively integrate technology into your classroom, such as technical support and software and hardware applications or equipment? And then lastly, phase 6 is what worked, what works in your classroom, what needs improving, when you're trying to implement technology into your class, what worked well with your students or for you, and what things can you do or can your students do or your school do for you to help you better and effectively implement technology into your classroom. Talking so long, my computer's going black. The third one is LOTI, or Levels of Teaching Innovation Framework. This was created by Dr. Christopher Morsch. I probably messed that pronunciation up there. The Levels of Teaching Innovation Framework has 8 levels. Its focus is instruction, assessment, and efficient use of technology resources. So when using the LOTI framework, you're wanting to ensure that technology use supports purposeful problem solving, performance-based assessment, and learning through experience in your classroom. And lastly, I have the TPAC model. This stands for Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge. So this is a framework that outlines 3 different forms of knowledge that educators need for effective tech integration, which they are what I just said: technological knowledge, your pedagogical knowledge, and the content knowledge. And you want to use TPAC to enhance learning experiences for your students. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and hope you all have a great day.